Okay, example 3. We're still comparing and finding unit rates. Okay, so the last one that we did, I stressed the importance of identifying what you can know in a word problem as well as what the question is asking you. So this is exactly the same. There is no difference. While the numbers are different, the rates are different, it is essentially the same question. It's asking you to organize your information and make sure that you're answering the question. So each week, Aaron earns $186 for 24 hours of work as a ticket seller. So that is some information I want to identify. Kayla earns $225 for 30 hours of work as a cashier. Separate information. Which job pays more? How did you find out? Okay, so it's asking you which job pays more, so that's something that you're going to need to find out. But just like the last question that I did with Kieran and Javon, this one is asking you to compare two separate pieces of information. So again, I'm going to make my chart, and I'm going to divide it into two sections. And in this particular first one, I'm going to put ticket seller, because it's asking you for jobs. And in the second one, I'm going to put cashier. And then I'm going to find out my unit rates and I'm going to compare them exactly the same way that I did in the last one. So for the ticket seller, we've got 24 hours of work, $186. If I were to represent that as a rate, I would go $186 per 24 hours. So if I want to solve that, I'm going to make that a little bit easier. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to put 186 over 24. Remember, I want to turn my second term into a 1, so I divide it by itself. That's going to give me 1. I have to do the exact same thing to the top. So I take 186 and I divide it by 24. Over to my calculator, 186 divided by 24 equals 775. Okay, so 7.75. So what that means is that as a ticket seller, Aaron is earning $7.75 per 1 hour of work. Let's find out what our cashier makes. Exact same idea. We want to know what our initial rate is. We've got $225 per 30 hours. Convert that again into our nice little easy to use fraction-y model. Again, do our math to turn that second term into 1. And we're going to have to do the same up on the top. The answer, of course, won't be 1. Clear out our original question. 225.00 divided by 30 equals 7.5. Okay, so this is actually quite a bit closer than most of the ones that we've done before. We have to remember with that 7.5 that we're talking about money, right? So we can't put $7.5. We would have to put $7, and then of course that absence of any second digit means it's 750. So 750 per 1 hour. So now we've found our two unit rates for each one. And now we have to answer our question. So our first question was, which job pays more? Pretty simple. We look back at the two jobs. We've got our ticket seller at $7.75 an hour and our cashier at $7.50 an hour. So the ticket seller earns more per hour. Oh, this is that fun thing that our smartboard sometimes does where it really loves to move things around. So the ticket seller earns more per hour than does. Okay, I'm gonna find a way to make this still work. Maybe I won't. All right, let's see if that does it. The ticket seller earns more per hour than the cashier. Gremlins in the machine. How did I find out? Exactly the same way I found out with the last one. I found out the unit rate for each job and compared them. To determine the highest wage. Per hour. There you go. So if you were to do this in a test, for example, it'd be absolutely correct. You've got all of your information isolated, you've done it neatly, you've represented everything in the proper way, and you've specifically answered each part of the question. Anytime you're working on word problems, that's the goal you want to shoot for.